First, it was Colin Kaepernick. Now 8-year-olds are kneeling during the national anthem before one of their recent games. But do the children even know why they're kneeling in the first place? Joining us now to discuss this, the anthem protest, is the host of the Truth Exchange, Kathy Barnette. Kathy, thanks for coming on.
Oh, thank you for having me.
What was your response to this when you saw the 8-year-olds kneeling?
You know, my first thought was it's a really sad day when we begin as a nation to start normalizing contempt for our country. And that's exactly what took place there on that particular field, a normalization of contempt for our nation. Teaching young children to kneel at the sound of the national anthem or to turn their backs on the waving of the flag is just wrong.
Well, one of the kids asked the coach, what's going on? Why all these protests? What's going on with Colin Kaepernick? And the coach has a discussion with them, and one of the children said, I know why. Black people are getting killed and nobody's going to jail.
You know, and that is the narrative. I mean, just think about it. How bleak is that? Because the narrative is that if you are black in America, then you will be oppressed. And that is a very bleak mentality to try to ingrain in very impressionable young souls, right? Instead of teaching them the greater aspects about this nation, the fact that over 1 million people become legalized residents in this country for a year. And there's a reason for that. And millions more illegally face some very harsh obstacles to get their family into this country.
You know, I was looking at the video of that or the pictures of it, and there are these precious, impressionable children that are kneeling, not standing up for the national anthem. You were someone that fought for our country, Army Reserves, for 10 years.
Yeah.
What do you think? Because this is a teachable moment. This coach could have said, all right, here's what Colin Kaepernick thinks, but this is why so many Americans stand for the red, white, and blue.
Yeah, you know what? I mean, I teach my children. I come from a very impoverished background on a farm in southern Alabama. And the great equalizer in my life has been, one, giving my life to the Lord when I was 19 years old, but also education. That's the great equalizer in this country. I mean, it's the great equalizer that took someone like Barack Obama from a broken home to place him in the White House. An educated mind is what took Oprah Winfrey from an impoverished situation as well to make her who she is. And an educated mind is exactly what Dr. Ben Carson talks about and even wrote a book about. That is the great equalizer in this nation. And that is the teachable moment. That if you are oppressed, there are things you can, if you feel as though you are oppressed, and I am not one to sit here and say that inequalities do not exist in the black communities. However, teaching our children to take a knee to the national anthem, the same national anthem and the same flag that I willingly, as a veteran, said to myself that if I am called to lay my life down, I would readily do so because there's something greater than myself that I'm willing to fight for.
Thank you, Kathy.
Thank you.